I do not know that he is. And yet, so eligible a gentleman would surely by now have formed an attachment. Will he bring his wife here? And his children? I only pray that I am spared any meeting. I know my chance of happiness has passed forever. But to be reminded of it by his presence here would, I am certain, be more than my spirits could bear.
Your brother seems dead set against the whole idea of Kellynch.
I fear Somerset has unpleasant memories for him. There was once talk of an engagement to a girl in the county.
There was?
8 years ago or so. We were in the East Indies at the time. He's never spoken of it, but his heart was quite broken, I believe.
Oh, well. Frederick engaged. Who would have thought it?
Indeed. I sometimes wonder if he will ever settle down.
The most delightful party last night.
I cannot tell you how handsome is Captain Wentworth.
He is so much more handsome and agreeable than anyone I have ever met before.
Such manners, such conversation.
Oh, and we have all been invited to Kellynch tomorrow night for dinner.
Even you, Anne.
Forgive me, the door was open.
Oh, Captain Wentworth, this is my elder sister, Anne.
We are acquainted.
But Anne has never said a word about it.
It was a long time ago. You were away at school. The worst is over. I have seen him. We have been once more in the same room. A bow, a curtsy. I heard his voice. And then he was gone. He has not forgiven me. I have used him ill, deserted and disappointed him. And worse, shown a feebleness of character in doing so, which his own decided, confident temper could not endure. Once there were no two hearts so open, no feelings so in harmony. But now we are strangers. Worse than strangers. For we may never become acquainted. It is perpetual estrangement. And tonight, I am to be tested once more.
still wish Charles had married Anne instead.
Anne?
Oh, yes. Did you not know he wanted to marry Anne?
No, I did not. Do you mean to say she refused him?
Oh, yes. Certainly.
Did she say why she would not marry?
Well, Papa always said it was her great friend Lady Russell's doing. He thought Charles might not be bookish enough to please Lady Russell, and so she persuaded Anne to refuse him. I myself would have no idea of being so easily persuaded. When I have made up my mind, I have made it. And I'm quite determined.
Yours is a character, I see, of decision and firmness. And I honor it.
Thank you, Kitty. Now I understand him. He can never forgive me. He condemns me still for the past and is becoming now quite attached to another. Quite attached to another. And yet, still he cannot be unfeeling. He cannot see me suffer without wishing to give relief. It is further proof of his own good, warm and amiable heart, which I cannot contemplate without infinite pain and regret. Captain, I'm most anxious. If you would be so kind as to have word sent to me in Bath as to how Louisa does.
In Bath?
I am not needed in Lyme or any longer at Uppercross. I must rejoin my father. Our house is in Camden Place.
You dislike Bath most heartily, as I recall.
I do. But I have an old school friend who lives there, and I have the consolation also of Lady Russell's company.
Very well, then. Goodbye, Miss Elliot.
Goodbye, Captain Wentworth.
We shall soon hear wedding bells at Uppercross, although I am sworn to secrecy on the subject and may say no more. But Mamma says the local dressmakers will not answer for such an occasion, so expect to see us at Bath next week for a fitting. Until then, I remain your affectionate brother-in-law, Charles Musgrove.
In fact, from his manner of speaking on the subject, one would never guess Frederick had ever thought of Louisa Musgrove for himself.
Benwick.
I beg your pardon?
Am I then to understand that Louisa is to marry Captain Benwick and not Captain Wentworth?
Yes. Yes, that's it exactly. Poor Frederick. Now we will have to begin all over with somebody else.
Miss Anne, is something wrong?
No. No, you astonish me indeed.
You mean you did not know?
The thing is certainly true. We have it from Frederick himself.
Captain Wentworth is in Bath.
He arrived last night.
Oh. Captain Wentworth.
Miss Elliot.
Your sister mentioned your being in Bath.
Yes. I'm lodging with the Admiral in Queen's Square. You've perhaps also heard that Louisa Musgrove is to marry James Benwick.
I have. I was most astonished.
As was I.
And yet I'm sure in time they will grow more alike. Captain Benwick will gain high spirits and cheerfulness, and she will...
relish for morbid poetry.
Just so.
With all my soul, I wish them happy. And yet, Miss Louisa is a very good, amiable, sweet-tempered girl. Harville's sister was a very superior woman. And Benwick's attachment to her was indeed profound. A man cannot recover from such a passion. With such a woman. He ought not. He does not. Miss Elliot, I am charged with an urgent commission from the Admiral in regard to your family. And since I am to leave Bath today without delay, I should be obliged if I could wait upon you at 11 this morning. I am charged. That is to say, the Admiral, Admiral Croft, has been confidently informed. Mr. Elliot. That everything is settled now in your family for a union between yourself and Mr. Elliot. It was added that you were to live at Kellynch. And my commission from the Admiral is to say that if the family's wish is such, his lease at Kellynch shall be cancelled, and he and my sister will provide themselves with another home, that is all. What answer shall I give?
Sir. You will please thank the Admiral on my behalf, but I must tell you that he is utterly misinformed.
Misinformed? Utterly?
Yes, Captain. Quite mistaken.
No truth in any part of it?
None. And I should be grateful to know the source of such fanciful rumours.
As to that,
Do you remember Lady Russell, Captain?
how could I forget?
Anne, I received your note.
Miss Elliot, if you'll excuse me, I shall convey your views to the Admiral. Good day.
Captain.
If you'll excuse me, Lady Russell, I must speak with Captain Wentworth.
Miss Elliot, I can bear this no longer. You pierce my soul. I am half agony, half hope. Unjust I may have been. Weak and resentful I have been, but never inconstant. I offer myself to you again with a heart even more your own than when you almost broke it 8 years ago. I have loved none but you. You alone who brought me to Bath. For you alone I think and plan. Have you not seen this? I can hardly write. I must go uncertain of my fate. A word, a look will be enough. Only tell me that I am... Tell me not that I am too late. That such precious feelings are gone forever.
Captain, I am in receipt of your proposal, and am minded to accept it. Thank you.
Are you? Quite certain?
I am determined. I will. And nothing, you may be sure, will ever persuade me otherwise.
You can't see. Your hand. I thought you might like to see your wedding present.